everybody. All right, here we go. We're going to do something new finally. Nomenclature is over. Big relief. Next, we're going to do something called conformations. Some of you have been reading about conformations. Conformations. So we have some new words. Big word eclipsed and staggered. Which one sounds like groups are in front of each other on adjacent atoms? You got it. Eclipsed. Which word sounds like things are evenly spaced on adjacent atoms? You guessed it. Staggered.
Bringing you a phone, any type of phone you want.
Is being recorded now that probably doesn't want to be recorded.
Shit. Find the.
Oh, some music too. Okay, so we're talking about two types of staggered, gauche and anti. And the Newman is the best way to show that. So quick gauche and anti. If there's a group on the front carbon that's like straight up, you got to move this a little. And then another group on the back carbon that's straight down. So we got a group in organic chemistry. Groups can be R for generic. That's called anti. And they have an angle of 180 degrees between them. That's called the dihedral angle. I want to point out why it's called a dihedral angle. The front carbon is a tetrahedron. The back carbon is another tetrahedron. And that's your two tetrahedra, dihedral. The angle between the groups in this example is 180. We call it anti because they're 180. And the other staggered looks like this. Do you see the even spacing that I was talking about for staggered? Things are evenly spaced, even though they're not that well drawn. So we could have this with this, where they're still staggered, but they're not 180. Oh, that's on the same carbon. You don't do that. There. Or you could have what looks like, wow, what looks like the mirror image. We got those, and the rest are just groups that are not being talked about. So here is these are both staggered. These are, in fact, all of these are staggered. And the ones where the angle is 60 degrees. I'm not even going to say 60 and negative 60. They're 60 degrees, period. That's called gauche. So why are they both staggered? Because the groups going front to back are evenly spaced. Front carbon, back carbon, front carbon, back carbon, front carbon, back carbon. And since we're doing a brief intro, let's just do a quick look at eclipsed. Front carbon and back carbon. You've rotated the carbons. It's not a very good drawing there. Right in behind that one, right in behind this one, and right in behind that one. 0 degree angle between those R groups. And this is eclipsed. Okay. Real easy to see with the Newman. That's why I like to do that. So we're going to use our imagination, and this one versus this one. If I was telling you one of them's eclipsed and the other's staggered, could you figure out which one's eclipsed? I mean, if you were looking right along here on this one, wouldn't this H be right in front of this H? And those circled things would also be in front of each other, but they're in behind. Yeah, they are. They're both away to the right of your eye, if your eye's here, and there. So they're definitely right on top of each other. What do you call it when they're on top of each other? Don't call it staggered. What do you call it?
Eclipsed.
Eclipsed. Okay. So A, eclipsed is the letter E. And what about the dihedral angle when the groups are right in front of each other? 0 degree dihedral angle. 0 degrees. You want a quick look? If you're looking at your eyeball there, to your right will be this H, to your left will be the OH, and to your left in behind will be the isopropyl, and to your right in front will be the H on top of the other H. This is behind, sorry. And the rest of the chain is here. So this is what you get when you look at it along that bond. And this one, and I'll do a quickie here. Looks like the back carbon's the same. Didn't change the back carbon, it looks the same. Oh, that's terribly drawn though. It's supposed to be evenly spaced around. And that's a chain. And the front carbon, let's see. There's a reason I'm drawing this bond first to the methyl. Because if your eye is looking along here, that methyl's right above your eye. Which hand do you have to use to grab that H? You're over on the other side now. Which hand do you have to use to grab the H? This is out of the page. Your eye is there right in the page. Which hand? Say the right. That's right. So the H is here. The OH is there on the left. Away from your eye, which is there. Okay. So we're talking about comparing this group, the OH on that carbon, to the isopropyl on this one. Is it eclipsed or staggered? They're not on top of each other. Please don't say eclipsed. Staggered. And we'll go green this time. What's the angle between those? Keep in mind, when things are staggered, you've got 6 positions. 1, alternating front to back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going in a circle. You know what the angle is between any 2 adjacent positions? What's the angle?
60.
60 degrees. All right. Next one, I'm just going to say straight up. This is what we call a chair. Do you agree this is straight up and this is straight down? Yeah. Don't we have a picture over here of one straight up and one straight down? Yeah. What's that called? Anti. That's the A. What's the angle? 180. This one, front carbon has this, CO2H, and a carbon. And the CO2H is circled. And back carbon has a CF3 in the air straight up. We're comparing that to the CO2H. Kind of looks like our first picture over here, doesn't it? Boom. Boom, other side. So what do you call it? Staggered or eclipsed first? Staggered. And we'll go in blue. What's the angle between those two groups? Once again, there's 6 positions and they're adjacent. Staggered's not an answer. Which of the staggers was it? The anti or the gauche? We can't put S as an answer. It wasn't an option.
Gauche.
It was gauche. That's right. There's
Professor, even in the first one, you put S.
yeah, I messed up, man. Thanks for catching that. That's a G. Doesn't look like a G. Maybe it looks like a G now. And yeah, we're not allowed to put S. Come on, man. And they're gauche there too, right? Yeah, there's 2 types of staggered, and I wanted you to be more specific. I would probably give you a partial credit there, but not full credit. That says which of the staggereds it is. And this is the other staggered, anti. Now this guy right here, they're right on top of each other. What are you going to say?
Eclipse.
Eclipsed. That's a big E with a big fat 0 degrees. And this looks like the mirror image of what we did up here, right? Almost. I mean, they're adjacent and they're definitely staggered. So we're gauching all over the place. 60 degrees. Can you see in this one, if I'm looking along here or the other direction, that the this is right in front of the H? So it's eclipsed, but they're not on the circled groups aren't on top of each other this time. So here's my red circle. Straight above my eyes, the carbon in the ring. Towards my eye, that way is OH. And CF3 away from my eye on a wedge. And what else we got here? We got CF3 on the back carbon. We got HO in front of the CF3. And we got the carbon that's circled. And then we got the carbon that's not circled. So that one and that one. No, sorry. I want this carbon and this CF3. So they're eclipsed, but they're not right on top of each other. What's the angle there? Now I want to point out your circle's divided in 3 now. These are on top of each other, these are on top of each other, these are on top of each other. So that's divided by 3. What's the angle between the OH, sorry, the blue C here and the CF3? What you got? Divide a circle by 3.
120.
120. Get rid of the, well, I'll put that back. That black thing was hurting our understand. And here they're right on top of each other. There you go. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot. We typically don't get a lot of questions like this, but I think we needed more explanation than previous videos have had about this topic. Now, when I get back, we're going to do a chair question. I'm going to change the due date on this one to 12/18, and we're back at 12/23. Okay. So I just, sorry, I can't hear you. Apparently she didn't want me to hear. Okay. So we've got these 8 answers. Please have those on a piece of paper with the labels 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, etc. And it's going to be due. I'm going to change the due date to, what did I say? 12/23, did I say? I forgot what I said. That's too late. 12.
18,
How about 12?
18.
18 is what I said. 18, 12/18. We're back at 12/23. That's what I said. So 12:18, 12:23. I gotta try to remember, and I will see you very shortly at 12:23.